Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just about him. I got a job in an alehouse, and I must have heard all the gossip about this sinful city. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
You'll have to tell me more about the sinning part. That sounds interesting.
You youngsters are all the same. But work before pleasure. After we find Liechtenstein and free Cape Bon, we'll see.
I'll look forward to it. But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild even for me.
That's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
I see the owner's got a sense of humour.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a joke. You'll find it in Hot Prink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Capon.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noble men's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one. What happened at Nebakov after the Praguers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
No, of course. I know you weren't there, but maybe you heard something. You know what goes on, right? I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing after that.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, Von Aulitz's men hanged everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
No, I don't know her well. But she was very kind to me. But I suppose now I'll never see her again.
Poor girl. May God forgive her sins and grant her eternal rest. You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Michael, the adjutant, survived?
I'm afraid I do know. Zizka said the shot killed him on the spot.
Did you know him?
Aye. He was a good man. He saved my life once.
I didn't know that. Do you want to talk about it?
Not now, thanks. Some other time, maybe.
Thank you. That's all.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
No, that's all right. Thanks.
How can I help?
I'll have a look at...
Nothing to your liking, sir?
Welcome, Goodman. I'm sure... What will it...
I'll have...
Nothing to your liking, sir?
I'm sorry!
Come and take a look. Quality good.
You've no business here.
Good day to you. Lord be with you.
Show me your... Let's talk about the pro...
Wow.
Do we have a deal?
You must be... I'm glad you found... what you were looking for, sir.
You aren't allowed here.
May God give you help.
How can I...
Show me your...
Nothing to your liking, sir?
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin.
I won't tell you anything, stranger. If there's something you want to know, Shenyek will tell you. Or not.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyek?
Look, when somebody wants something here, they go and see Shenyek. I reckon that's all I have to say.
And where can I find this Chenyek?
He'll be here somewhere. He usually sits next to Hugo, our oldest regular.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can find that Chenyek. I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you. Although the way you're kitted out, you seem like you might fit in here.
Who are you? And your people?
Well, I'm Chenyek.
All right. But why all that horse shit about whether I'd fit in with you or not?
Look at it like this. This is a place for a certain sort of people what have their own rules. Although folk usually think we don't play by no rules.
I reckon I see now.
Grand.
I'll fit right in here. After all, I'm in the trade.
Funny, I ain't seen your mug before, though.
No, I ain't from this neck of the woods. I do business mostly out of Colleen, only the catchpoles there are on my heels. I done in this fucker what owed me a pile of glint, only the bugger turns out to be the son of a councillor, so I needs to lay low for a bit, see? A mate of mine sent me to see Goatskin. Says he owes him from way back and he'd get me fixed up like...
One of ours from Colleen. Well, that's another story. Our doors is always open to you fellas. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here.
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No, but there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd, seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word, but I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. He don't stray far when he's on the job, usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks, so I'd try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth, but you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
Why didn't you defend Goatskin? Isn't he one of you?
He is and he ain't. I'm no saint, but that Goatskin stepped in some nasty shit and then walked it in our door and all. I ain't saying we don't look out for each other, but there's limits, innit?
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner, and then there's the Big Bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
If you've got some job for me, you can tell me straight up. So what kind of work do you have for me?
A job worthy of your skills. But first, just a little test to see that you're not as dim-witted as that arsehole Goatskin. What is Wycliffe's first thesis?
When our Lord Jesus Christ commanded us to repent, he wanted to believe his whole life to be one of repentance.
Well done, brother! Second question. Which estate has the greatest reformatory potential?
The commoners.
Correct! The Reformation must start from the bottom and ignite like a flame in the hearts of all, so that in the end the Holy Church itself will be set ablaze with purifying fire.
After our talk about goatskin, I didn't think you'd know about these things.
You thought we were just paupers who couldn't count to 5, didn't you? But now let's see who's the pauper. Last question. Who is the rightful king of Bohemia?
Wenceslas. There's no doubt about it.
Indeed. All right. Now let's talk about the job. Maybe this will disappoint you a little, but it concerns Wenceslas's brother. It's he who will secure your place in our humble company.
And then I'll get cheaper beer, and you'll let me borrow your loaded dice?
Ha! You missed these people here by half a century. We call ourselves the Guild. We profess the ideals of equality and brotherhood. Our only law is the Holy Bible. Worldly justice is as fickle as a common whore, yielding to those who are in power.
Justice for me or the gallows. Aren't you afraid to end up there?
Friend, one must be willing to suffer for the truth. Sigismund is a usurper. And the church and the magistrates are but a lowly horse spreading her legs for Sigismund. As long as we go against Sigismund and honour the scripture, our souls remain pure.
What if I go and tell the bailiff you're calling him a whore? Just out of courtesy, you know?
Go ahead. Perhaps you are one of the lucky ones who are not harmed by Sigismund's presence in Bohemia. Maybe you don't mind selling a piece of your conscience by ratting us out. As for me, I will go to the town hall with my head held high. But you?
Yeah, don't worry. I was just teasing you. I think the same of Sigismund. Tell me about your operation here.
We are who we are, and we do what we do. Like the early church of Jesus' apostles, in unity and fidelity to his words. I'm in charge. I plan all our missions. Goliath is the muscle. Knuckles, well, he mostly complains. But he also knows his way around locks. But we're all equal. We share the profits equally, but we don't do it for the wealth. We want to drive Sigismund out of this town.
How can I join you?
You want to join us already? I don't have to talk you into it. That's great. We're not particular about formalities. Let's just have a beer, and then you're one of us.
Here's to the guild.
To the Guild! That reminds me, I'd like to throw a feast for the poor. The bigger the better.
Didn't you say you were just ordinary people with no money?
We are. And this is where Sigismund comes in. Because he's going to pay for the feast out of his own pocket.
That was a good one. How are you going to make that happen?
Me? No. You'll make it all happen. Listen carefully. Sigismund seized land down in the valley near Pach and built his personal warehouse on it, right under our noses as a provocation. There he stores fancy foods and gifts for his commanders, and for that red-bearded gob of his, sausages, smoked meats, foreign spices, and more. fancy delicacies from Italy, Hungary, Slavonia, and all the other shitholes where he owns land, while we're eating porridge and cabbage all the time. You will steal all the food you can carry from that warehouse, and as a nice token, you will leave there. Let's see. What would you leave there?
That cabbage you said you were eating all the time?
Brilliant! Get at least one head from the greengrocer and leave it there for Sigismund. Let him eat for once what we have in our bowls almost every day. But I'm warning you right now, no violence. Don't even think about slitting anyone's throat in that warehouse. The job isn't to punish some poor sod on guard duty. Is that clear?
Got it. What should I do with the stolen food?
You'll give it to the beggars. Let them feast like kings for once. It's not hard to find poor people in the town. Just go to the gates or churches, and you'll surely come across some. There are also tents full of them in Minor Street, Church Street or Cobbler Street. When you're done, come and see me, and we'll figure out what to do next.
Sigismund will be fucking livid he can't enjoy his fine sausages. Can I expect any help from you?
If you need some tools, stop by Knuckles. That's all I can help you with.
All right, I'll head out.
Good luck.
I'm sorry.
Shall we fight?
Maybe.
I do.
That's the...
Tell me, how did you...
Chenyek pulled me out of the ditch and offered me a new life. Literally. I've been helping him with his the thing he's doing.
You say that like it doesn't matter to you one bit.
Chenyek matters to me. He's a great friend, and I owe him a lot. I believe what he's doing is right.
So you just do what he tells you?
Pretty much. And since I've been doing it, my life has been so much better.
Don't you have some plans and aims of your own?
When Chenyek gets what he wants, I'll open my own tavern. Until then, I'll be...
You don't seem to have many opinions of your own, do you?
What good would they do me? Everything Chenyek says makes sense to me. At least the parts I understand. So why come up?
Tell me more about the guild.
Look, I'm not... All I can tell you is that we're a good bunch of nice people. Poor, but kind.
Shall we...
Mate.
I'm not gonna...
Then go and fight a buck.
Shall we fight?
Mate.
I do.
That's the...
Excuse me. God bless.
We need to rely on ourselves. What do you want?
What do you... I'd like to just...
I? Happy to be of service, sir.
Men's opinions. Just keep quiet.
You're always welcome here.
Easy. Nice and slow. Quick! Gah! Gah!
Good to see you.
Greetings.
Where do you think you're going? Did I imagine it? What's that? I must be mad. Fuck it.
You're not
Go. Sniff somewhere else.
Quiet! Go away!
Clear off, you cunt.
Quiet!
Sit. Stay.
always welcome here.
Here!
You have a kind master, eh, doggy?
You should have a light.
Oh, you pooch.
Yeah.
What? Are you... Good day to you.
I brought you some food.
Dear God, I must be dreaming. So much food, it's like a royal feast. I'll feed my whole family and have some leftover for the neighbours. Who should I thank for these gifts?
For everything, thank the local guild and King Wenceslas.
Is this how the guild takes care of us? Wonderful. May God bless our King Wenceslas. Good night, and God be with you.
Go away. Yeah. God bless you, sir.
I brought you some...
Sweet Jesus! I can't believe it! I must be dreaming. So much food. I'll feed my whole family. And who do I...
For every...
Is this... May God bless... Take care.
What?
Are you...
Greeting.
I brought you...
Sweet Jesus, I'll fill my... Who do I...
Forever.
Is this... May God...
God be with you, sir.
Hmm? Are you... Greetings.
I brought you...
Dear God. I'll fill my belly. Who should I...
All the...
Is this how they get... May God... See you soon, my friend.
What?
Are you...
I brought you...
Dear God. I'll fill... Who should I thank?
All this is from the...
Is this... May... Good night, and God be with you.
My humble respect.
May God give you health, sir. They hate the smell of humans. So the best thing to drive them away with...
God bless you, sir.
I'm Henry. Chenyek took me into your group.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Hrudosh, but they call me Hog. Rat and I are the main workforce around here.
What does that mean?
We do what Chenyek and Goliath say.
Tell me about yourself. How did you end up here?
I used to be a guard in the City Watch, but then Sigismund came, and I was running my mouth. So they kicked me out, and I started stealing because I had no choice. But I wasn't very good at it, so I ended up, in the pillory. Chenyek and Goliath were strolling around, and we started talking about what I did to end up like that.
Let me guess. They gave you a job?
Yes! And they taught me how to steal properly.
What do you think of the guild?
The guild's the best thing that ever happened to this town. It brings, hope for a change. For us and all the poor people.
What, crime paves the way to a better society?
Well, robbing a thief ain't no sin. When Sigismund's gone, everyone will be better off. But now...
There. It looks better already.
And what can I get for you?
Oh, you booge.
What kind of pig will sit in here? Why is good day to you?
Lord be with you.
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and what brought you here?
Don't you have anything better to do than listen to that kind of rubbish? All right. I'm from Kuttenberg, son of a tailor. I studied at the university in Prague and met a lot of interesting people there. And let me tell you this. The wisest people in this kingdom know a big change is coming.
You mean that reformation you like to talk about?
A great wind will come and sweep away that which has no firm roots. Then the rain comes and moistens the soil so that new grain can grow on it.
Could you stop with the metaphors?
You're not stupid. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. There's not much more I could tell you about myself. Except maybe when this is all over and we've established this brave new world, I will return to my studies.
I'm interested in the guild.
Plato or Aristotle?
The guild?
Right. Are you interested in our ideals or the group in general? Generally speaking, we are just ordinary peasants. Paupers, beggars, common rabble. At least that's what they like to call us. The lowest of the townsfolk. But if we're the dregs of the city, we still hold our bare arses high and have a passion for a good cause in our hearts.
I did what you asked me to do.
Great! So you robbed the chest and fed the poor?
I robbed the chest and left the cabbage in it.
Ha ha! Great work! He's in for a big surprise, the red-headed fucker. Good work! What about the beggars?
I fed as many people as I could.
You're a hero. Folk will really appreciate that, you know. They've never eaten like this before. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? And that feeling of satisfaction. We may not be any richer, and yet...
You know what? I'm beginning to understand the guild's modesty.
See? And now, let's talk about your next job. Just before I tell you more about it, try talking to Rat. I'm sure there are a few side jobs for a chap like you. And Goliath could teach you how to throw a proper punch. He's the best brawler far and wide.
Maybe some more salt?
Service is kind of slow today.
I'm sorry.
You silly doggy.
I'd like to...
What is it?
Blunt...
I'll tell you some interesting...